This video is about solutions. What is the solution to all this propaganda matrix, the superstructure stuff that I constantly go on about? Because I can imagine people constantly asking that question over and over and over again. So I can't just when I think, when I imagine in my head that's what people would ask me, I think, well, I have to at least address that. And sometimes when I think, that's what people ask me. I admit that I think I'm not ready to answer, but now I am. You see, the problem with this issue is that because it's a propaganda matrix we live in, where we're propagandized every day for the benefit of the people at the top, that means that overcoming the propaganda is the success. Because otherwise, because you don't have a free mind otherwise. If you don't have a free mind, it doesn't matter what you're saying, does it? Because whatever you're saying is it's been spoken by someone else through you. That's what propaganda does. So the ultimate goal is to overcome the propaganda so that we're all freely thinking and we're not just brainwashed. And then I think that what would happen then is you'd have a more cooperative society, and because this brainwashing is rife in every nation, I can't say, oh well, look at them, because they're propagandized as well. But what I can say is this: when you see people who meet up in streets every day, and they're not addressing something that is being said by a billionaire or a news media company, so it's outside of that propaganda. You see that they act cooperatively, and respectfully, and decently. If someone then said something that had been said by a Rupert Murdoch newspaper or something, maybe it would become different. But you see, that's the point. Take the propaganda away, and I think it's cooperation time. It's only when the propaganda gets into people's heads that's a problem. Now, of course, the state superstructure in itself contains the liberal left as well. They're also at play, and that's on stuff like class war, where they're on the side of the existing state superstructure and the powerful. So there's a liberal metropolitan elite, and not on the side of those at the bottom. And also on wars, I think they've totally lost the plot. But so therefore, because the state superstructure is automatically set up like that, I do think some people on maybe have a problem with seeing through that most basic aspects of it, when that's going to be a problem going forward. But in general, I think people are cooperative, and if you get rid of the propaganda, you can get rid of the the propaganda is circular, I know, but I think the hardest bits to overcome would be would be that economic side. I think the divide and rule thing that the right wing play, or sort of scapegoating and things, I think that would quickly evaporate. But anyway, the point is that the solution is just a matter of becoming conscious about it. We all have to go through that process. I mean, it's one thing bringing in, I don't know, an extra 25 quid on universal credit or something, but the state superstructure's propaganda matrix would still exist. Hence, the problems will keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. It's a matter of seeing through the propaganda matrix. So we need stuff like historical inquiries into it. We need historical inquiries into the press, and we need to spread power more thinly so that we can't say there it is, there's power. Downing Street, Parliament, news media places, that must be overcome. And absolute one-off extreme if you've got these propaganda matrices and state superstructures. You get Hiroshima bombs, things like that. We need a psychologically healthier cooperation, but this can only come through getting rid of the propaganda matrix, that top bottom. That's real, and that top bottom's real, but then the propaganda matrix exploits it. That's their whole playground. To say that this doesn't exist would be like saying that power does not corrupt, elites don't corrupt. Those who've got the most power, the megaphones, use them perfectly, naturally, normally, and never do anything wrong. Everyone knows that's not true. 99% of Brits, I think it is, say that we're corrupt. The thing is, they don't know what to do about it. It's almost like they realise that people are corrupted by power and that can spread throughout society, but they don't realise what to do about it. The thing is, that all you have to do about it is to become fully conscious of it, fully conscious. Now, I put a question to myself here in these notes. Let's say we got rid of the state superstructure propaganda matrix. By the way, that just means everyone becoming conscious of it. But wouldn't you all not just replace it? And I put, there's just people. There isn't your lot. There isn't their lot. That's what propaganda does when it talks through you. It's possessed you. We all suffer from it from time to time. We know we do not replace it. Even the word replace is error, because if we replaced it, the state superstructure propaganda matrix would still be in place. It's not who is in the propaganda matrix, because whoever is in the propaganda matrix uses it for corruption purposes. It's like saying, place these suits at NATO and put other suits in, and then they'll be all okay, there'll be no war ever. That's not the point. The system does it. So, for example, if you replace the CIA with an overload of suits, there'd still be stuff about this UAP stuff where people threaten witnesses or say they're mentally ill. It just happened now with Grush. And it's to prevent other whistleblowers coming forward, because then they're worried that disclosure will come out and the whole thing's down. But it's not that everyone in the CIA, for instance, is evil, right? But they are a terrorist gangster organisation. Because it doesn't have to all be evil, it just has to enable people who will kill people to keep a secret, who will ruin people's careers by saying they're mentally ill, who will try and character assassinate them by saying they're mentally ill, who will trash their homes, etc. It doesn't mean to say that everyone in an organisation is bad. There's any organisation that you can think of, right, that it's got lots of power, is going to be corrupt. It's just a matter of 50 years, 100 years, 150 years, or maybe it's just tomorrow. We all see through it, an inquiry comes out and exposes it all. So let's say someone says the CIA is a terrorist organisation. That doesn't mean that everyone in the CIA is a terrorist who's willing to go around killing people. It just doesn't mean that. But we've seen just now, right, what's playing out now, that they're willing to trash people's character just for their own sake. It's fact now. It's all come out. So, for 90 odd years or 75 years, whatever it is, they've denied that. Oh, it's myth. That's UFO books who say that. It's true. We now know. So, it's about seeing through power. And like I say, it doesn't mean to say that everyone in the CIA is some kind of mass murderer. But some seem to be, they are. I mean, Elizondo wears bulletproof vest. and he's interrogated terrorists who are against America. Well, this is to prevent getting assassinated from terrorists within American power over UFOs. He's more scared or apprehensive or whatever about being targeted by US authorities in terms of being assassinated than he is America's enemies. I just think we need to see through power per se. It absolutely corrupts the entire world. And then those who expose it are called out. Yet they're the ones who are being the heroes. They're the ones who are trying to shine a light on crime. You know, if you're pro law and order, you should be on our side. If it just means, oh, well, I'm not pro law and order if you're getting at the people at the top, if you want to give them a free pass, then don't claim to be pro law and order. We've got to see it properly. If you want to be pro law and order, you can't let people serial kill. It's just as ridiculous, or not more ridiculous, than letting the Yorkshire Ripper off. You've got to see through it. You've got to see through it. Just because they put a suit on, that doesn't mean anything. If the Yorkshire Ripper had gone around in a suit and has a badge and seemed quite intelligent, would that have made any difference? I don't think so. I think if you're a murderer, you're a murderer, and you clamp down on him. You shouldn't be soft on crime just because I wear a tie and I will kill anyone. No, that's not okay. That makes it, if anything, it makes it worse, I think, because they get away with it. It's time to end this. It's time for people to see through, and game over. And I think more and more people are. If I go online now, more people see through it than don't see through it. It's time to get rid of the murderers, the news media that supports them, that cartel, they're involved as well. It's time to get rid of the state superstructure per se. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. People are seeing through it too much. It's game over. Game over. State superstructure, propaganda matrix, ruining people's careers, killing them, bumping them off, threatening their wives, saying we'll mess with your car wheel, car brakes, presiding over vast inequality where top 26 people in the world have the same amount of wealth as the bottom 3.4 billion. Brainwashing people so they have no freedom of mind, which is the thing that gets on my nerves most, actually, is all seen through. Game over. Either admit you support terrorists and gangsters and people who want to possess people's minds, or be on the good guy's side. Game over. Time to move on.